Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video what we're going to do is connect to our database and start using the structured query language to interface with our database. And so this is really exciting. I hope you're ready. All you have to do to get going on this is open up a terminal here, and I've got my terminal full screen. I've also increased the font size, so if you have this on full screen and you should be able to read my font. Just put this on HD video. So I think I'll have the font large enough here. All right, so in order to connect, first thing we need to do is make sure XAMPP is running, which is our local server. It actually comes installed with MySql. Actually, to be completely transparent, it comes installed with MariaDB, which is a lighter weight version of MySql. Basically, it's just for practical purposes, I'm going to call it MySql, but it is MariaDB. So anyhow, what we're going to do is just make sure our XAMPP is up and running. So opt lamp start if you're on Linux. Oops, I didn't type the whole thing. Opt lamp XAMPP start. And you can see that mine is already running here. So if yours is running, you're ready to go, especially this MySql right here. That says it's already running. So I'm going to type clear now. And let me show you where full transparency. There are many ways that we can connect to our database. XAMPP comes with a tool that we can use, and I'm going to show you that at the end, called phpMyAdmin, to where it's a graphical user interface to interface with our database on XAMPP. However, I don't really want to start off using that because it does create confusion for people where they think that is the database. So what we're going to use is we're going to use the terminal, and we're going to type in commands to do everything. And we're doing that because I really want you to learn the SQL syntax, because that's how you're going to have to use it within a programming language. You're not going to be able to use a graphic user interface to add tables and databases and columns. So we're going to learn it the hard way, but it's still not hard. It's a very human readable structured query language that we're going to learn. And so go ahead and do it through the terminal. And at the end, I'll show you a quicker way to do the setup for when you're creating a project. You don't have to do it with terminal, but we're just going to learn the language here in a terminal. So open up terminal and go ahead and CD into your directory that houses your XAMPP install. So for me on Linux, it's /opt/lamp. Could be a little different on Mac. It's applications XAMPP. But anyway, I'm going to ls here to list everything out. And inside here, there's a directory called bin. Now, the bin is short for binary. So if I cd into bin and I ls again, we have a binary in here called MySql. And we're going to use this right here, this MySql binary, to connect to our database. And it will give us a prompt that we can use to type in queries to interface with our database. So let's go ahead now, and I want to just log into our database through that binary. And the way that we do that is we can either type the full path, which for me would be opt lamp /bin /MySql, or since we're already in the bin directory, we can just do /MySql. Okay. And let me make this a little easier. I'm going to clear this just to put it at the top of the screen. So again, it's /MySql. Then we do a space -u, which is a flag that's short for user. So now we need to tell it the username that we want to connect with, and that is root. Now, when you install XAMPP, if you haven't done anything else, you won't have a password set up. But on a secure server, on a live server, you will have a secure password set up, and you'll need to actually type that in. But for now, this is all we need to connect to our MySql instance through the terminal. And if I hit enter here, you can see welcome to the MariaDB monitor, and the connection ID is 15. It tells us a little bit about the server, copyright information, and we can type help to get help, or we can type \c to clear current input statement or whatever. So there's a few things it tells us here, but right here it gives us this MariaDB prompt, and right now we're not connected to any specific database, but we can start putting in queries here. So let me show you the first query we're going to do, and we're going to type show databases. Oops. And then a semicolon. So the structured query language has keywords that we use. So in this case, we're using show and databases, and then we're going to type up a semicolon to tell it this is the end of our query. If I hit enter now, you can see all the databases that are on my system. I have a database here that I'm going to use for an example that I just named DB. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to delete a database. So we have this list here that shows in our terminal of our databases. So let's go ahead now and type in drop database. Now we want, when you're typing in these queries, your keywords for MySQL are going to be in all caps. Now I'll tell you that it actually doesn't matter the case, it's not case sensitive, but the standard and what everybody wants you to do is type all caps. So we're going to go ahead and try to remember to do that here. I do get lazy sometimes, but we'll do drop database, and then we're going to have to give it the name of our database that I want to drop. And for whatever reason I have lost, it seems like my terminal has, let me go ahead and close my terminal. I guess it froze up there. Not sure why. So let me go ahead and make my font size a little bit bigger here. And I guess I need to reconnect. So I'm going to type opt lamp bin MySQL -u root. And that's a little big. So let me shrink that up a little bit. And here I'm going to type drop database, and then I'm going to give it the name, and the name of my database was DB. So then I'll use a semicolon there and hit enter. It does give me 2 warnings, but it did work. I'm not worried about that. So let me check that again and do show databases, semicolon, enter. And now you can see my list of databases, and I don't have the DB one there. So now I'm going to show you on your system how you can create a database that we can use to play around with. You're not going to have a list this big, but don't delete anything that it shows in yours. But what we're going to do is create a database, and that's very easy to do. The most basic command we could type is create database, and then we're going to give it a name, and I'm just going to name mine _DB. Now that is case sensitive. So I'm going to do a semicolon and hit enter. And now you can see that it says that the query was okay and there was 1 row affected. Now, if I do show databases, semicolon, you can see that in my list of databases, it shows that there is a DB. Okay, so now that we've done that, we have a database that we can play with for the rest of the chapter. So I think what we'll do is kind of end it there, but I just want to show you how to connect. Now I'm going to show you how to disconnect from this, and all you have to do is in lowercase, just type the word exit and hit enter. Now it says bye, and you see your prompt went back to whatever prompt you had before. And if I could type clear, I now have my basic terminal back, and we're not connected through the client, the MySQL client, any longer. And that was the exit command. So again, to connect, if everything goes well, you just type the path to your install /bin /MySQL, then you do a space -u root. Now if you have a password set up, you can do -- password and hit enter. And now it's going to ask you for your password. In my case, you would type it here, but my case is there's no password, so I'm going to enter again. And now you can see that we are connected. So we can also do things like type help. And now it tells us basically how we can, a few different commands that we can use, okay? So that's it for now. Actually, I think what we'll do is just exit here, and we're going to call that quits for this video. In the next video, we're going to start creating tables that we can store information in. So I'll see you in the next video.